Hour 2 of Late Night Health continues. In studio, the insane Daryl Wayne.
Yay.
And the incomparable Ken Jeffries.
Thank you. Except no substitutes, by the way.
That is true. But This is the first time we've been on the air together.
Actually, that's true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We worked together at a radio station, 30-plus years ago. Oh, my God.
It's so long ago, I think Marconi was our first guest.
I think he was.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we're going to go to Tucson, Arizona, as we visit with Debra Schildhouse. Did I get it close?
You did. That's perfect.
And she is a certified practitioner of BioTouch and has been a volunteer staff member at the BioTouch Center in Tucson, Arizona for the last 5+ years. What is BioTouch?
BioTouch is a touch healing technique that is for everybody. And why do I say that? Because the very first time you try it, you are effective. It's easy to learn, and it's inexpensive to learn. So it is for everyone. And what it is actually the first 2 fingers of each hand, and you lightly touch skin to skin on the body, like butterfly light touch. And there are specific points on the body that you touch. And as you do that, you are bringing down pain levels, inflammation levels, you are bringing down stress levels, and you are helping people feel much more cared for.
Inflammation has been linked with all kinds of diseases. It's the beginning, and both allopathic, traditional healthcare people are saying this, as well as alternative people have been saying it for years, probably 25 or 30. Does BioTouch actually reduce inflammation?
It absolutely does, and it has been actually shown. There were 3 studies done. 3 different doctors did studies on BioTouch, and they all mirrored each other in the fact that the pain levels were reduced, blood pressure came down, inflammation was reduced, and in one particular case, interleukin-12 levels were raised, and those are immune boosters, and the cortisol levels went down, and that means stress. So, this has just been an amazing way to show that our fingertips hold the key to actually helping our own bodies heal themselves.
You said the first 2 fingers. Which side do you start on counting? The index in the middle. Oh,
actually.
okay, got it.
Yeah, that's a lot easier. Yeah.
And do these fingers generate energy, power? How does it work?
Well, it's funny because we really say we don't know exactly why it works. Obviously, we know it does work, and it has been shown to. And it may be energy. I don't know, but I think there's just something really very powerful about the human touch.
Remember the old Yellow Pages theme? You let your fingers do the walking, as a matter of fact. So
yeah.
maybe Ma Bell knew something years before anybody else did about biotechnology.
I do want to talk about BioTouch.
About this material. Yeah.
Right. I do want to talk more about how BioTouch started, and we'll do that in a few moments. How is this compared to, say, massage? I love getting a deep tissue massage. I think it's very relaxing, it's therapeutic, and it makes me feel better. How is BioTouch different from that?
It's very different. Well, it certainly does those same things. You feel immediately relaxed. When I'm working on somebody, they start to breathe more deeply, they start to sigh. I see them just, relax in front of my eyes, and then I start to sigh. It's good for me, too. But it is very, it's not pushing or, there's nothing pressuring on the skin. It's such a light touch, you almost barely feel anything.
Wow.
But it's the specific points that we're touching.
And, physician, heal thyself. Is that kind of related somehow?
Well, if you're asking if I ever work on myself.
Yes.
Basically, BioTouch is a relationship between 2 people. It's like a connectiveness. And so it certainly was meant and designed for you to be in a relationship with another person, giving and receiving. Now, the truth is, if I'm by myself and I have a terrible headache or I stub my toe, you better believe I'm going to be working on myself. Now, does it work as well? I don't know. Probably not. But, yeah, I'm going to be doing that because I find it helps, So as you were saying, yes. But that is not how it was designed.
Does it also work in conjunction with medicine, with let's say taking an aspirin for a headache or something?
Absolutely. In fact, that's what we do. Excuse me. We do call it a very good complement to mainstream medicine. And what happens to a lot of the people that come and we have a center here in Tucson, the BioTouch Center, and it's an amazing place because you can, make an appointment for a half-hour session, and they don't charge. I mean, it's just donations only.
It's amazing to me, and we were going to talk about that. Yeah,
I'll get to that in a minute. But it's What can I say? This organization is incredible.
According to my research, if you will, BioTouch was started 3 years ago by a hippie who had a lot of back pain. Tell us about that.
Actually, it was in the 80s.
That's 30 years ago.
Yes, it was 30 years ago. Paul Bucky was his name, and he's a very unusual guy. He was on a spiritual journey since he was 5 years old, and he did the whole hippie thing. He lived in communes. He lived out off the grid in a 100-year-old stone house for 4 years without running water, gas, electricity, mail, garbage service, anything. And then he moved to a small town in Colorado, and he had a terrible backache, and he tried everything for a year, couldn't get rid of it. And he heard about this man that was giving healing sessions out of his house. And so he said, okay, I got to try this. And he went there, and this man was actually doing what's now BioTouch. He gave a session to Paul, and he didn't charge Paul. And Paul's back immediately started to relax. He went back one more time, and after that session, the pain was completely gone forever. And Paul was so blown away, he asked if he could be taught it. And once he was taught it, he realized that, wow, everybody could learn this. Everybody could, help each other through, all over the world. You don't have to go to some gurus or anything. This is simple. It's in everybody's fingertips. And so he devoted the rest of his life to teaching it and to sharing it. And that's what he's doing now. He's still at the BioTouch Center here in Tucson.
How did you get involved?
I got involved because I was desperate. What happened was, many years ago, I had seen a movie called Resurrection with Ellen Burstyn, and she played a hands-on healer, and I was blown away. And I thought, wow, I could do this. I want to do this. So the next day I went out to a bookshop, and I found 2 books. Back in those days, there weren't a lot of books on healing. And it said, you have to really work hard. You have to concentrate. You have to bring heat in your hands. You have to do all these things. And I studied it up, and I tried it, and it was hard. And sometimes I was able to actually bring heat into my hands, and I was actually able to help a friend or a family member if they had a headache or something. But most of the time, it wasn't very effective, and it was very ineffective when I needed it the most. And that was 6 years ago. My daughter had viral meningitis, and she was in terrible pain, and the doctors were not able to help her, and it was a horrible, horrible time. And I tried to, bring heat in my hands and touch her, and nothing was working. My hands were cold. And so, thank goodness, she did recover. She went back to her normal, healthy life. But I was forever changed. I never wanted to ever feel that helpless or hopeless again. And I knew I wanted to find a healing technique that I could depend on. And I had read about BioTouch a year before, but unfortunately I hadn't acted on it. I just, I'll get to it someday. Well, now I, got out the article that I had put away in the drawer, and I saw that the Tucson Center right here was, like 10 minutes from my house. I signed up to take a class, and boy, I knew I was in the right place by the end of that class, and the rest is history.
And your daughter today is pain-free.
Yes, she is. Thank God she was, she completely recovered from that. But now I don't ever have to worry that there's nothing I can do. If somebody is in a medical crisis or if somebody's just not feeling well, I can help them, and it helps me to help them.
Talking over the years to massage therapists, many of them say that in giving a massage, they get energy from their client. Is that true with you as well? That while you're doing the BioTouch technique, that you get energy?
Well, it's funny. Everybody's different when they're giving a session. I actually get so hot. My hands, my arms, all the way up, sometimes my chest, my neck, my face, I get like a hot mess. And so I don't know exactly if I'm getting somebody else's energy or what's going on. Ironically, the thing is that BioTouch is so easy to do. You don't have to concentrate. You don't have to bring in heat. And it's funny, it just happens to me naturally, which
Wow.
I couldn't do with the other techniques.
So you can actually be thinking about picking up groceries at the market while you're working on the insane Daryl
Yes,
Wayne.
I do it all the time. It's like so easy. It's like falling off a log. That's what I love about it. I don't have to work too hard.
Got it. Our guest, the author of BioTouch, Healing with the Power of Our Fingertips, and her name is Debra Schildhouse.
Right.
We'll be back with Debra in just a couple of moments as Late Night Health continues, and we're going to teach you how to be a Jedi using the Force in just a couple of moments as Late Night Health moves forward for Hour 2. Don't go away. Join us at latenighthealth.com.
Thanks for calling Consolidated Credit Counseling Services. Can I help you?
I sure hope so. I'm in debt.
Is it credit card bills?
Yes, I have 2 credit cards that I'm making minimum payments on and another that I'm behind on. I owe about $5,000.
What interest rates are you paying?
Between 18 and 22%.
At that rate, it'll take over 20 years to pay off.
Wow, 20 years?
What Consolidated Credit can do is work with your creditors to lower your payments and reduce or even eliminate your interest charges. You should be able to pay everything off in 3 or 4 years.
What do I have to do?
Just give me some details and get ready to celebrate your freedom from debt.
We're Consolidated Credit. We're here to give you freedom from debt. Call now for your free consultation.
If I had known it was this easy, I would have called years ago.
Call 1-800-229-1964. 1-800-229-1964. That's 1-800-229-1964.
Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company licensed by New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 19, Oregon DM 80031.
Have you ever needed a flashlight and reached into a drawer to find your flashlight is dead and then go to put in new batteries only to find the insides are all corroded? Now Hybrid Light has created a solar-powered flashlight that requires no batteries and also charges your cell phone. Hybrid lights are durable, waterproof, and hold a charge in the dark for up to 7 years, and perfect for any emergency or everyday use. Now you can get your own Hybrid Light today for only $34.95, and if you mention health, you'll receive a Hybrid Light headlamp absolutely free. That's our durable Hybrid Light with a free headlamp for only $34.95. A value of $60, only $34.95. Call us today at 800-297-8109. That's 800-297-8109 to get this special Hybrid Light offer today. 800-297-8109, 800-297-8109. In the promo code box, type in HELP. 800-297-8109.